How many of you are familiar here with the raw meat diet? The raw meat diet is a diet that consists of human beings eating raw meat and butter. That's it. That's all. That's what they do. They eat raw meat and butter for every meal. And I thought that this was just like I thought it was a one-off thing when I saw it the first time, and then I saw more and more people doing it, which is just like, isn't this how you wind up in a Russian hospital in a coma for 6 months? I mean, yeah, among other things, like dying from like brain worms. But anyway, just as a demonstration, because I don't think you guys understand the severity of this issue. There's a guy on TikTok who goes by the handle Butterdog, and look, here's a pot of boiling butter. I wonder what he's gonna do with it.
Today we're making milk steak. This has been a very highly requested meal, and all you really do is just boil your steak in milk, and that's all you do. And I obviously had to put a stick of butter in with it as well. And do not overcook it. This was very rare, very tender, so juicy, so good. I love butter. I love steak. Milk steak was good. Was it better than a sink steak? No, I really actually enjoyed the sink steak a lot more. Stay tuned for the bathwater chicken. And today we're making milk.
Now you might be like, oh, sink steak? What is that? Well, you know what? You don't get to know that. Here, you get to have this instead.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of a testicle? Well, that's what we're going to find out today, because we're making testy pops. These are testicle lollipops. All you need is a raw testicle, cut it up into 3 little bits. It's pretty simple, and this is very, very tasty. I personally love these. Lay them out on your parchment paper, and you're going to need some toothpicks and a little gloop of honey on each one. The kids are going to love these. Once you put enough honey on it, throw them in the freezer, and then you'll have the answer to how many licks does it take to get to the...
Also, I just want to say, bro does not look like he's okay. Bro does not look like he's healthy at all. Okay, but here are his top favorite ways to cook steak.
These are the best ways to cook a steak. First, we have the trusty sink steak. This doesn't take that long, and despite having no crust, it is actually very tender and juicy, and with a stick of butter, it's not that bad. Next up, we have the microwave steak.
Just gonna reiterate, his way of cooking this steak was just holding it under running water until it turned white.
Despite having no crust, it is actually very tender and juicy, and with a stick of butter, it's not that bad. Next up, we have the microwave steak, which is basically the brother of the sink steak because they both have 0 crust, but with a little bit of maple syrup, it really ties the dish together. And my personal favorite way is the uncooked steak, and this is great for beginners because you really can't screw it up, and it tastes amazing too. These are the best ways.
I don't get it. I do not get it. But this is no, this feels like he's doing it for content. Bill Casey, no. Unfortunately, I know for a fact this man isn't doing it for the content. He's doing it because he thinks it's a genuinely good idea. This guy's gonna die from a medieval disease like wasting or something. Yo, this guy's gonna be eaten from the inside out by whatever parasitic worms are in the cows he's eating, okay? This feels like insanity. It does feel like that, yes. It does feel like insanity. It feels like, I don't know. But then I saw that apparently this isn't an isolated incident because Vice did a little mini documentary about why raw meat is the latest online diet craze, and Jesus Christ, it's real.
The purpose of today is to celebrate life. This is our community getting together to honor and to recognize the life-giving force and the sacrifices of the animals that nourish our community and our body.
We're going to be shooting a 210 grain 30-06 boat tip hollow point burger. So we'll just pass that around so everybody can kind of see.
This is going to be the bullet too, right? So put your good energy into that.
I'm here at Rome Ranch in Fredericksburg, Texas, which is a destination for people who are part of the carnivore lifestyle. And we're about to harvest a bison and butcher it together.
And
So now the herd's going to kind of come up. They'll kind of stay there.
man, leave the bison alone. They've been through so much.
Goodbyes.
You guys get a chance to...
Yeah, if any of y'all want to taste this blood, this would be the time to do it.
What is it?
It's way lighter.
What the fuck? Yeah, just come up and taste its blood. What? I'm sorry, conservatives have just become vampires. Like, literal vampires. Literal vampires. Yeah, come up, suckle on its blood teat. What the fuck?
Lighter than you think.
Oh, dude, you do
Yeah,
not
it
get,
tastes like
you do not get paid enough for this, lady. You do not get paid enough for this.
like a nosebleed.
They're going to move it back to that house where we started today so that they can cut it up into pieces that we can eat. Yeah. This is what's supposed to happen, kiddo.
Events like these happen a few times a year here. They introduce people to a new way of eating meat by consuming the whole animal and making it a centerpiece of your diet.
You know, we try to eat from our land and we try to eat regionally. And so 90+% of our calories are animal based. So eggs, butter, milk, and then of course, lots of meat.
What kind of people do you think your message is resonating with?
We have people come out here from all walks of life, but the most common threads are people that have some kind of health or nutrition journey, for sure. And then the other common visitor that we have, it's someone who just wants to have that connection point to land, to animals, to community.
I believe that as we keep going, people will discover that meat actually makes people healthier. And I think you can just find that by, eat some good meat and you generally feel better, but go eat a bunch of donuts and tell me how you feel.
No one thinks donuts are good for you.
Nobody thinks donuts
Nobody's
are good.
making that argument.
No,
yeah.
Nobody does. But I'm saying that you have a craving for both, right? That's kind of my argument. Like, I don't have a craving for kale.
He's literally describing craving flesh, which I like meat a lot, but I'm not about this. I don't have like a craving for meat. I like it, but like fruit is pretty good too. Vegetables are nice. Oh, Metal Kitty Mom, you came in. We're learning about the crazy, seedy underbelly of the raw meat diet.
And so the question is, like, when do you listen to what your body's telling you?
So Josh is gonna open up the abdominal cavity, and that'll be
Jesus.
the opportunity where we can kind of connect with the organs and get a
What?
chance to eat some raw liver, some raw heart, maybe
The
some
fuck?
bile.
What the fuck?
So I've been eating a lot of raw organs lately
What
because
the
they're full
fuck?
of nutrients, vitamins. I'm trying to get pregnant, okay? Pulling out
Most
No, don't worry, folks. They're not vampires. They aren't flesh-eating ghouls. They're just, walking around with raw meat, talking about how they're gonna like fucking consume it. I can't. This is so weird and gross to me.
people hear about the carnivore diet from influencers online, through podcasts or social media videos.
So I've been on a carnivore diet. I'll tell you about that.
Yeah, that's like a healthier keto, right? Or a better way to do it.
I don't know. It's just all meat. Just everything's meat.
I eat beef and salt and water. That's it. And I never cheat, ever.
Proponents claim the diet cures a grab bag of illnesses,
Christ.
from IBS to depression to infertility. there's not a lot of evidence to support that.
No
In fact,
shit.
a large body of research links red meat consumption to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and colon cancer. And livestock is bad for the planet too. It's responsible for 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions. But for the hardcore in the carnivore lifestyle, expert opinion doesn't matter. In fact, rebelling against the mainstream is the point. Carnivorism has become a new front in online culture wars.
The vegans, it's like talking to a cow.
Getting mad cow disease to own the libs. Getting infected by prions to own the libs.
You know, they just, there's nothing you can say that'll change their mind because they're mindless drones.
Sean Baker is the guy who coined the term carnivore diet.
I cook a lot of steaks. I've literally, without exaggeration, I've probably had 7,000 or 8,000 steaks in the last 6 years. I'm serious. I'm serious. I've eaten like back in the day, there was accounts of like Mongolians where they would literally slaughter a sheep and eat the whole thing within 24 hours, like 1 or 2 guys. Just, and then they wouldn't eat for a week, though. I mean, that's what they did. They would feast.
A world record-holding athlete for indoor rowing and an orthopedic surgeon by training, Baker is now a full-time lifestyle coach, promoting the notion that carnivorism—
None of these people look healthy. He looks pasty ass. He looks like he's literally dying.
—can cure diseases.
That is remarkable. We've had this 50 years.
Like, look, chat. I know that I am white as fuck, okay? I know that I am white as fuck. This guy looks gray. He looks like he's dying. He looks like his skin is made out of cement.
There's people telling people don't eat meat, it's bad for you. Instead, so what do they eat instead? Well, they're hungry all the time, so they turn to this ultra-processed, high-energy junk food, and now everybody's fat. Everybody's got, you know. I fundamentally believe that a lot of the problems with our population health has to do with nutrition. I think as we look at our quote-unquote standard American diet, it is, you know, 60% ultra-processed food. I think that's doing grave harm.
You've talked about something that I think you call the vegan agenda, right?
Yeah, maybe something like that. Yeah.
What's the vegan agenda?
I'm fully supportive of people being vegan if they want to be.
Catalina
Now, what I
Gearbox, thank you
don't
for the
support
100
is
biddies.
when they call me a murderer, when they call me an animal abuser, when they call me a rapist because I choose to eat the same food that humans have been eating for arguably 3 million years. I mean,
Okay, wait, but nobody's calling you a rapist because you're eating meat. That's not... I don't believe that for a second. I do not believe people are calling you a rapist because you're eating meat. People are calling you that, it's because you did something else.
it doesn't make sense. When they are trying to...
You've had that? People call meat eaters coward. Okay, well, vegans just be crazy then, I guess.
Limit my access to food that makes me healthy, I'm not happy about that.
They're taking away my meat seems to be like a rallying cry.
Well, and I think with legitimate concern. I mean, there's definitely, you have to be living under a rock to see that there's always meat.
Oh, Metal Kitty Mom, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. And, you know, humanity spent literally hundreds of thousands of years crawling out of the primordial ooze of our evolutionary path. You know, developing the skills to be able to cook food so that we can, like, not die of, like, severe food poisoning and, like, not get like, horrific parasites that, like, cripple us for life. And, these people are just going, like, nah, we gotta return to Monkey. But not only do we have to return to Monkey, we have to pretend we're better than everyone while we're doing it. Looks like they might have skin problems too. Yeah, like all these people who do this full time look like their skin is turned to like cement blocks. Look, chat. I'm a white person. I'm very white. This guy looks like he was killed and then resurrected by a vampire. Okay, like I'm sorry. There's a level of whiteness that terrifies me, and it's that one. You know, the pallid glow of vampirism.
Says we need to cut back on meat, and it's just like maybe there's some level for concern here.
I have have trouble with that argument that they're forcing us to stop eating meat, because it just seems like that really hasn't happened. Like, most Americans eat a ton of meat still.
Well, I mean, there are certainly people out there that have expressly made the claim that that's what they want to do. So that agenda does exist. Now, will it ever gain traction? Will it ever convince enough people to where it'll actually happen? Who knows? But I think if you don't at least say, hey, this is a problem, we should be opposed to that, then, you know, then those agendas will pass.
What do you think the reason is that a certain type of guy, like interested in traditional masculinity and maybe a primal lifestyle, like, why is he attracted to the carnivore diet?
I mean, there is something, you know, viscerally and primitively satisfying about eating meat. I mean, it really is.
What the Yo, Liver King, I love your stallion. What do you do for a living?
I eat liver because liver is king. Eat liver for more drive, more determination to kick ass in life, or else you are sub-primal.
Oh my gosh!
Perhaps the most famous meat influencer is Liver King. He's built a brand posting videos about—
Okay, I don't know anything about Liver King, but I will say one thing. Liver King is only yoked because he absolutely 10,000% injects himself with steroids every day. I'm sorry, I do not believe for a fucking second that this guy is that yoked, based solely on the fact that he eats liver. That is a fucking lie. I'm sure he eats liver every day. I'm also sure that he injects steroids either into that liver or into his own liver.
About how eating raw organs is the key to what he calls ancestral masculinity.
It was confirmed that he juices?
I believe
okay.
that men are purpose-built for physical strength, to fight, to provide, and to protect.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize.
But it turns out Liver King wasn't all natural.
Damn. That's
Yes,
crazy, bro.
I've done steroids. And yes, I am on steroids, monitored and managed by a trained hormone clinician.
In December, Liver King was exposed in leaked emails for using steroids and apologized to his followers in a YouTube video. But the whole eat meat to be a strong man persona still has a big draw.
Can you guess what Liver King is having for dinner today? I got liver.
And can you guess how much time I'm gonna beat you by in our liver eating challenge, Liver King?
Paulie Long is a meat influencer who got into the hobby after watching Liver King.
So
well, guys,
weird.
I found paradise. I'm back in the cooler right now. All right, so my Mimi found all the good stuff right here. We got brains.
Veal heart.
Heart and oh my God.
And veal brains. Here you go.
Is there testicles or?
Find brains in there.
Yeah, I have one. Yeah, I got the brain.
That's all we have.
No.
Okay, yeah, no, these people are absolutely gonna die en masse from, like, prion infections, okay? Like, if you're fucking going around eating animal brains, okay? Chat, do any of you not know what the fuck prions are? Here, this is a reputable science channel.
There's a type of disease that infects a person's brain, is incredibly hard to detect, can kill extremely quickly, and has no known cure. Hi, I'm Lisa, and this is Minute Yikes. These deadly, incurable diseases all start with proteins. Proteins are really long chains of smaller molecules called amino acids. Through intricate molecular origami, these chains get folded into complex 3D shapes that enable them to do all sorts of jobs in living things, like transporting oxygen throughout our bodies. But on occasion, the origami goes awry and a protein gets folded up wrong. Generally, the body just clears the misfolded protein away, but not in the case of one specific protein in the brain. For reasons we don't totally understand, if one of these proteins misfolds, it persists and goes rogue. Whenever it comes across another protein of its type, it will refold that normally functioning protein into the same shape as itself, starting a massive chain reaction. Not only can these misfolded proteins no longer do their job, they also start stacking up into massive clumps within nerve cells, which block the nerves from sending out signals. Without these crucial signals, all sorts of body processes go haywire, causing everything from memory loss to organ failure. This disease, called Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease, inevitably leads to death, often in a matter of just weeks or months. These rogue proteins are called prions, short for protein infections. Prions can get into a person's brain in a few ways. Most of the time, it happens by sheer chance, a random case of molecular origami going awry. But the misfolding can also, very rarely, be encoded in a person's DNA. You can't catch prions like other contagious diseases, unless you actually eat infected meat. And that—
Wow. Damn, that's crazy. The only way you can get it is by eating infected meat. That's wild.
That can indeed happen. Normally with cows infected with mad cow disease, which is the bovine form of Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease. Sheep can also get it, then it's called scrapie. And in deer, it's chronic wasting disease. In each of these diseases, it's the same brain protein that's the culprit, but it's misfolded in a slightly different way. And it's the misfolding that makes prion diseases so tricky. After all, prions are molecularly identical to proteins that normally exist in our body. They're just folded differently, so it's hard to even detect prions in the first place. And to treat this disease, we'd need a way to go in and either destroy or refold all those misfolded proteins. And that's technology that scientists haven't figured out yet. But don't freak out. Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease is extremely rare. It's just as common as being struck by lightning. And actually, scientists have recently discovered that prions aren't all bad. For example, when a particular protein in a yeast cell misfolds, it makes the cell wall stronger, which helps the cell survive harsh conditions. And that misfolding can be passed along to other yeast cells. So while the chain reaction triggered by a simple misfolding is really dangerous in some circumstances, it can be a lifesaver in others. But since prions are so hard to detect and so poorly understood, we need to keep working to unfold their mysteries.
Hey, K for Christy, thank you for gifting a sub.
While we're still far from understanding prions, we've made huge strides in studying proteins in general, thanks in part to DeepMind, this video's sponsor and leading AI research lab working on some of the hardest problems in science. Until recently, researchers were only able to study—
Okay, that's fine.
But no testicles, right?
I don't think so.
Those are my favorite. they call me on social media. They call me the testicle king.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I do the raw testicles all the time. Yeah.
That's fucking
Long
weird,
lives in
bro.
Bali with his wife and kid, but he still visits his parents back home in Pennsylvania.
I've got a lot of nuts, and this is by far.
You have 200 videos of
I have
nuts.
over 200 videos. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of testicles. All right, I get asked
Why
this question a
testicles?
lot about these
Because you can have like different areas of focus as a meat influencer, but you've picked this one.
Yeah. I kind of didn't pick it. It picked me.
Nah,
The
nah,
testicles
nah,
chose
you
me.
can't
No.
say that.
I tried them at first for entertainment, just because that's the kind of person I am. Like, yeah, why not? Let's try it, right? And then I put it on social media for shock value, and then it became a consistency, and now I enjoy them. I enjoy them a lot. I definitely feel a difference when I eat them.
What is the connection between the carnivore diet and masculinity?
I mean, look at the world
You don't look good, bro.
that we're in. It's a mess. It's a disaster. The elites who run the world are trying to emasculate men. The LGBT, whatever it's called, community is just making its biggest push ever, and they're trying.
Yep. Yeah, the solution to the LGBT scourge, eating testicles, of course. All men should gargle as many testicles as they can to fight off the LGBT schemes. Gargle at least 4 ball sacks a day.
Trying to turn everyone gay. They're trying to make everyone weak.
We're trying to turn everyone gay, and they're trying to turn me gay, and that's why I just devour every testicle I see.
Trying to just everything about the way
Jesus
the world is
Christ.
ran right now is trying to weaken men and trying to make women masculine. They're trying to switch the roles, and that's what causes chaos.
Are you saying that the same people who are encouraging plant-based diets are trying to emasculate men? Like, that's the connection?
In certain scenarios, yeah, not everyone. They want us weak. They want us smaller. They want to control us. They feed us the wrong food to make us sick, and then we need them for medicine. Big pharma, right? And how do they manipulate us? Big propaganda. the media, the news, right? And so it's a full circle business.
So you think there's been like a widespread coordinated effort to spread misinformation about how meat's actually bad for you when it's good for you?
Welcome to Earth. Yeah, just like everything else.
Okay.
Honestly, I was a little bit weirded out about raw testicle, but it is a crowd pleaser.
These people
I feel
are
like you can't miss
weird
on
as
testicle.
fuck.
Okay, all right. It's really does.
Again, chat, conservatism, not even once.
And there's more coming out.
Oh, I like it.
That's good. That sounds nice.
That's a testicle.
Can I have some more?
They'll definitely jazz it up, but the unique experience of eating
That's
like
good.
this is pretty special.
There's a lot of extreme people who are associated with the carnivore movement. What do you think of kind of the image of the movement?
Honestly, we're kind of just doing our own thing, and on the periphery, like we don't really look up to those icons. We're kind of like just focusing on what we love, and that's animals and land and celebrating that. And if we can bring more people into this system, that's a win for us.
It's like a balloon.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm Michael Learmonth, editor-in-chief of Vice News. Too often,
I really wish there was more of a conclusion to that, chat, but unfortunately, that's just kind of where it ends. There's no nice resolution to that. It's just these people live in a weird conservative bubble where they must consume raw flesh in order to feel masculine, I guess. It's that's just where they leave us. There's no conclusion to it. They just want to own the libs. And the only way that they can own the libs is through this fucking thing. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you guys. God damn. They want to be Luke inside the Tauntaun? Yes, except that would be too gay for them. They want to be Luke. They want to be Han Solo penetrating the Tauntaun. There we go. Think of their colons? I'd rather not.